Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of April 18th, 2022. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
And still without Nicole Aradix, who is away this week, but we hope will be back next week. She just wanted to make really, really sure you miss her by having to listen to the two of us prattling on for 2 weeks. You're going to be like, Nicole! Anyway, every week in various configurations, we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. This week, we're complaining about friendship and adulthood and obsessing about TV show reboots. We also take a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today, we are talking about how to make money off our kids' stuff. And no, it's not the garage sale topic again. We have new material.
Right.
I happened to see a friend on Facebook being very excited about something called Sniff Spot, which is like an Airbnb for backyards that dogs may want to go in and play and smell stuff. I had no idea such a thing existed, but if you are, say, in an apartment and you have a dog that never gets to go out except on a leash, and maybe there's no official dog park near you, or maybe there is a dog park, but you don't like those dogs, or those dogs don't like your dog, or you don't want to risk any disease, all the reasons, but you still would like your dog to run free. Apparently, you can look on this service called Sniff Spot, sniffspot.com. It's also, I'm sure, an app, and see if there is a backyard somewhere near you where you can just take and let your dog off the leash and let it run around and sniff things and play with toys and just be free. And most of the time, these would be like, if you have a particularly humongous backyard, this would be an ideal thing. And I bet you would get a lot of business. But even if your backyard is not so capacious, you do have a variety of smells that this dog will delight in discovering. And, dogs take what they get.
And you pay for this?
You pay the people whose yard you are visiting. And it's not like from what I understand, it's not like a pet sitting service. You stay with your dog. I imagine you pick up your dog's poop. What they are doing is just offering you and your dog a large space in which to be unleashed,
Right.
Which don't we all need that now and then? But it got me thinking, well, how about if I have a swing set in my backyard that my children outgrew quite some time ago? I won't say that my kids are my age, but when my kids were teenagers, we had a swing set that was still not that old. If you have a kid who doesn't do well on the playground and doesn't like to take turns, but you have no place to put a swing set in your own home, come on over to my yard. I'll charge you by the hour. You stay, you watch your kid. I sit inside in the air conditioning, but the swing set gets used. The kid gets to
Just
swing
counting your money.
forever. Yes, I would be up. I'll even bring y'all some juice boxes. And you think about like all the, if you have 15 years of Legos that nobody is still playing with, could you offer to a young parent, hey, instead of cluttering up your house, I'll make a space in my basement that will be Legoland, and you bring your kid and he can play with the Legos for however long he wants. I will charge by the hour. And, that might be appealing to somebody who doesn't have another place to take their kid to go,
Yeah, I mean, because any place that's new is fun for a kid. I mean, even obviously the toys are not brand new, but they're new to that child.
They're just like new, fresh from the box.
Legos are fine forever.
Just set up like put some like mats around an area and then just spill 5 million Legos out and let the kid go to town. I think that there might be a market for that. And
and you could do it with things like basketball hoops.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. We had a basketball hoop in our driveway that my daughter threw into it 10 times and was like, that was fun. And then it sat there and rusted. So come and use my driveway.
Soccer goals, hockey goals, rebounders. Those are like a net that you can either kick a soccer ball in or hit a lacrosse ball at whatever. Those are the thing. Where I live, people have backyard ice rinks.
Wow.
So that's a
Definitely.
thing. I think you'd need some good liability.
Yeah, I was thinking about like what if you have a trampoline or a pool?
Disclaimers.
But you would definitely need disclaimers for those also. But were that possible, people would pay for that for sure.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like to rent ice in a indoor facility is usually a minimum of $100 an hour. So if you have a backyard rink, which obviously is going to be smaller than your standard sheet of ice, but if you have a backyard rink and you rent it for 20 or $20 an hour, even $10 an hour, it does take time to set it up, and it's not a freebie like letting dogs run around in your yard.
Yes.
But I think it would be popular.
I bet somebody's doing that. That sounds like such a easy.
I mean, where I live, it's just that
you just make friends with people that person.
Right. The people who have them are people who are super into hockey, and so their kids play hockey, and then they invite their kids friends.
Right. So you just have to be nice to them, bring them cookies, and
right. Well, it's just like if somebody has a pool,
right? Yes.
So I think you could do it, along the same lines as Legos. You could do it with American Girl dolls, because they have just so many, even just a regular, like a little dollhouse. Not everybody has one of those because they are kind of big and take up space. So that would be fun.
if you have 100 Barbies that your child has purchased over the years, and then you could say, bring your Barbies over to play with our Barbies. And what Barbie fun would ensue? Do kids still play with Barbies? Am I 62 years old and thinking that kids still play with Barbies?
Oh, I think
do they still call them Barbie, or does she have a cooler name now?
No, she's still Barbie, and she does like every job. And hobby that there is.
Girl, but really that name could use an upgrade. Skipper, is there still a Skipper? Can she show her face at school with that name? I bet she does Instagram with something cooler. Skippy. Goodness.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of options here.
Yeah. And you think of all the children's books that I assembled over the years. I had quite a large collection, and I just gave a whole bunch of them away to people and just saved the ones I cherished. But if you didn't want to get rid of any of them, you could certainly invite a young parent and child over to, here's a nice comfy spot in the corner of my attic, and you can read to your child for 1 hour. But it will be cheaper than going and buying that many books, and you don't have to read them over and over and over and over and over and over every night. You can just enjoy them once a week at Mrs. Morrow's house.
Right. It's like a bookmobile, except
and you don't have to worry about whether your kid will be just quiet in the library, because I had a kid who just no. I'm not even going to bother because I know the answer to that question. So your child can shout over the books. And then, after that, you can come and we have 500 children's videos that are ancient, but,
But probably your kid has not seen them.
They have not seen them. Maybe you don't want them to see it. Barney, I must watch more Barney.
We can only watch Barney at Mrs. Morrow's house.
See, I will keep the annoying videos here so your kid can get their fix, but you don't have to watch it again. In fact, dear, I'll go sit down with your child and you can go upstairs and have a cup of coffee. I like watching that stuff too. It makes me all nostalgic.
You miss it.
Yes. But interesting that we're now gone from you can rent your house to strangers to you can rent portions of your house to strangers. And I look for increasing people smallness of this idea.
I think people do it with stuff like tools and sporting equipment, stuff that you just don't use all the time, and that you don't mind sharing.
I live next to a high school, and I have at least one time was asked if we wanted to rent out a space in our driveway for students because their parking lot was filled up. And wow. I didn't, because it would have been difficult with people going to work. We do a certain amount of car jockeying every day, but I have allowed people to park there for free for like back to school night.
Yeah.
And so that's also a thing. If you live by that big park, right? Have you ever rented out a spot for people wanting to go to the event?
No, not rented out, but definitely offered to friends for sure.
You got to think bigger.
And if you happen to live in Green Bay near Lambeau Field, those people make big bucks renting out their whole front yard. Their entire yard is just filled with cars during Packer games. So that is a thing.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I wonder if anybody would like to rent like 5 minutes of our podcast. Really send us a recording and we'll just put it on, and you Venmo us the cash.
Right.
Move up to intangible objects.
Right. Exactly. We have so much to
Got a bee in your bonnet? Got something on your mind?
Our listeners want to hear it.
And even if they don't, what do we care? As long as the check clears.
We're making the cash, right? Well, that's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, as we just
absolutely
reminded you. So drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.